So hi everyone, this is a feature presentation for the MakAir Vision 3 ventilator. The intended use of the MakAir ventilator is for ventilation with intubation, but we are working on a new algorithm which will work with non-invasive ventilation. MakAir ventilation is made for people usually sedated and for all the infection from the lung, like for example COVID-19. So I start the ventilator. When the ventilator starts, it starts breathing. This is what we call a B-branch ventilator. That means that the inspiration and the expiration branch are two different branches to prevent some blockage inside the system and made for used with that. You have to mandatory use filter in every part of the ventilator to be sure that the COVID-19 will not be everywhere in the world. And there I have this whole lung of people breathing in rhythm, which we need to be done with the ventilator. This ventilator is regulated with the pressure. That's why you can see the pressure graphs here explaining what is the pressure of the people. It's usually able to keep the pressure at a very good level because we have a very, very short error path, and you can modelize every chart you want on the pressure for different variation of the treatment for the patient. For example, you can have a huge peak, for example, in the beginning of the pressure, and have a really big peak to be sure to really open the lung, then a plateau, then what we call a positive expiratory pressure, which means that we keep our air inside the lung. If I keep a little bit the system down, everything is going very well. You have real button here to make the regulation, and there is all the data about the system working without the curve. This one is really sure because it's linked inside the really regulatory curve of the system, so it's inside what we call the servo loop on the system, and it will never have a failure which can happen in another way. So that means it's very efficient for hard case situation. The whole system is made for the security of the patient. So, for example, if the patient has a blockage and cannot breathe for real, what will happen is the ventilator will alarm all the people working well, and if it's a rare situation there, it will help. There is an online a wireless system inside it, able to send the alarm to the doctor office to be sure that the doctor has the prevention. And then we see the patient is regulated again. Same reason, if the patient is not there, there will be an alarm saying that there is a problem and the patient is no more disponible, so you have a problem here. This ventilator has another very interesting feature called the Respiratory Trigger. If I change the expiratory rate to be sure that to have the ability to see it for real, you see the inspiration, expiration are this way. Then I activate the Respiratory Trigger, and if the patient has a problem on the sedation or is awakening, for example, the ventilator will not force him to the respiration and go with him on the inspiration. So, for example, if I take the ventilation and start to breathe, you see that the ventilator is following me on the side, and the ventilator is going with my patient to breathing. That means that if the patient have a problem on sedation, it will be safe to use the ventilator. Same thing here. If I try to expose all the air of my lungs, which will prevent the lungs from collapsing, the ventilator will provide enough pressure to keep the lungs on the good side of what they need. So this is a very interesting feature for all the cases where the patient can have a problem with sedation, and it's very oftenly happening in many cases. The whole system has been heavily tested for weeks and months, so it's working very well on this case of cars. And it's made for the kind of usage, like for example, in situation where you have no electricity. This ventilator is designed to have 4 hours long battery, so it's working well on the battery pack and without to be plugged on the electricity, and it will go back keeping all the electricity inside the battery pack if you need. So this is the entry for what the oxygen entry. If you need to put more O2 inside the patient, you just plug it here and regulate the pressure level of the O2 there. So this is about the feature of the ventilator. It's made for disease like all the lung disease or all the reanimation needs. So this is all the MakAir V3 work. Future improvements are on the sound, and the other improvement like is here, because we will make way more easy to plug and unplug new patients, only changing some parts of the aerospatial stuff. So thank you very much for your attention, and have a good day.